What's up, guys? It's Louis with That Convention Got Collectibles, and this video is all about complaining. So if you're not one to listen to complaints, then you should probably just go ahead and turn me off. Or enjoy the craziness of this grumpy old man. Now, what I want to talk about is Steel City Comic Con. What were the highs, what were the lows? And I will tell you this, it was mostly lows. So I'm going to start with the convention. The convention is in Monroeville, Pennsylvania. It's about 40 minutes away from Pittsburgh. Now, that makes it's important because Pittsburgh is where the flights are, is where the hotels are, the restaurants, blah, 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 blah. Monroeville is a growing city, but the convention center is small. I only saw one hotel in the area, which is the one right next door to the convention center. And Steel City Comic Con has outgrown that convention center and outgrown that hotel. They need to be doing it in Pittsburgh and putting people up and doing it in a better city. I was told that they do it in Monroeville because it's much cheaper there, and so they can host it there at a much more affordable price to them, and they make more money. Number two, the hotel. The hotel was terrible. Terrible. Doubletree Inn or whatever it's called, terrible. Why was it terrible? Number one, rude customer service. The people at the front desk, they shouldn't be working customer service. They should just go. I'll give you an example. On day one, I'm on the 5th floor. I went to get ice. The ice machine is not even making noise when you push the button. It's on. It was plugged in, but it's not even making noise. There's no ice. So I go back to my room and I call and I say, hey, can you tell me where there is ice? And she tells me, every floor after 3 has ice. And I said, well, I'm on the 5th floor. There's no ice. She said, try 6. No, oh, sir, I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on. Let me find out what's going on with that machine, but there are other floors. No, just go try 6. Now, right there, I knew I was in trouble, but whatever. I went downstairs. I wanted to go get some lunch. It was 1:30. I look at their little bulletin board, and it says lunch from 11 to 2:30, or 11 to 2, something like that. But the lights are all off. So again, I go to the front desk. I say, ma'am, is there something going on with the lunch place, or are they open? They're not open yet. I said, okay, but it's 1:30. It says from 11 to 2:30. She said, well, I don't know. Now, another woman hears me having this communication, and she tells me, oh, it's closed for lunch. They don't open for lunch. And I'm thinking to myself, have you ever been to a hotel restaurant that opened for breakfast and opens for dinner, but doesn't open for lunch? Okay. Next thing about the hotel, carpets. My carpet had like 6 different colors. Something had happened in that room that they had tried to clean up, and it didn't work successfully. The floor was uneven. I tripped in the room because the floor was uneven. You would walk some and it'd all of a sudden go up, and then you'd walk some and it'd go down, and it'd go left, and it'd go right. It was ridiculous. So I had spoken to a celebrity, who I will not name, that was leaving the hotel when I was, and they said that they called it the murder hotel, and that there are stains on their walls that they couldn't identify, but it looked like blood. They said the sheets had red spots in it like it was blood. And that they had all joked around that night, a few of the celebrities, saying that this was the murder hotel and that they had hoped to live through the weekend. And that they had made jokes about, like, hoping to just survive. The people that run Steel City Comic Con should be ashamed of themselves for putting a celebrity in that hotel. I didn't want to stay in that hotel, and I'm not a celebrity at all. It was disgusting. It smelled. It smelled like somebody was smoking stuff that they probably shouldn't be smoking. And it smelled like that through the entire hotel. No food choices. Like I said, it was crazy. But the cleanliness and disgustingness was just... I wouldn't want to stay there ever again if I went. So I don't know how a promoter of a convention gets these guys to come there and stay there. It seems absolutely ridiculous to me. I would be ashamed, and I hope you do watch this, you should be ashamed that you're putting people in that hotel. Doubletree should be ashamed to even have that hotel open. They need to remodel that whole place, tear it, whatever, because it's disgusting. Okay, moving on. The convention has outgrown the convention center. Why do I say that? For anyone that's ever gone to a Comic-Con type of convention, you know that photo ops is a very large area. The reason is hundreds of people want to take a picture with their favorite celebrity. Well, this one was not. In fact, they didn't have enough room for 100 people, let alone hundreds of people. So what they did is that they told you to go outside. It's August. And even though Pittsburgh has decent weather, it's August and sunny. So for one of my photos, they tell me to go outside and go to the tent. That's where they're hosting the line for the photo ops. Now I go to this tent. It's probably, 10 feet wide, 30 feet long or something like that. And they're squeezing 150, 200 people in there. So we're all like, in the line. I thought that was bad. Until later, when I went for the Katie Seagal VIP, named VIP photo op. So again, this is that $400 ticket that I had to buy that included a photo op that I got to skip the lines to be with her. I go outside and they tell me to cross the street of the parking lot. Because for those who don't know, at Steel City Con, they leave the parking lot open. So people are driving their cars through this parking lot. And they tell us to go across the street to let the cars go by. And we sit in the sun. For 40 minutes, we sat in the sun. Now, the tent was available. No one was in the tent. But yet the VIPs were told to sit outside across the street and wait there for 45 minutes. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm like hair intolerant here. I don't have hair. So the sun beating down on my head after a few minutes gets very hot. Anybody who's bald out there knows what I'm talking about. So imagine after 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and then 45 minutes, what you're feeling like. Not to mention, now you're sweaty. You can imagine we're all starting to smell a little bit from sweating as much. And then you got to go inside and get a good picture. So one of the things I feel really strongly about is that the people that run Steel City Comic Con don't know what VIP means, or they don't understand that concept, or they don't care. Because here's what I mean. When you purchase a VIP ticket, and again, I'm not saying I'm a VIP like, ooh, I'm special, or, I'm a celebrity or something. I'm not at all. I'm a person. I just buy the VIP level ticket, which usually allows me front of the line access so that you can get to all the autographs that you want to get to without stressing about time and all that kind of stuff. Because if you're in line for 3 or 4 hours for one person, you do the math. Times 2, times 3, that's a whole day, and you've only gotten 3 people's autographs. So as a big collector like myself, I'm going to see 10, 12, 14 people. I don't have that kind of time. So I pay more for VIP tickets so I can skip the line of general admission and get what I need done. Now, a lot of people say, oh, that's wrong, blah, 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 blah. And I get it. If you're in general admission, it sucks. You have to wait a long time while VIPs are put through. Now, normal conventions will do like a 3 VIPs to 1 general admission, 3 VIPs, 1 general admission. Sometimes it's 5 to 1, some conventions. Other conventions, 2 to 1. It just depends on the convention. But the point is, if I paid $400 for a ticket and you paid $50, it seems reasonable to believe that the person who paid $400 is going to go before you. And I don't think anybody that had paid the $50 had a problem with that. I think everyone kind of agreed to that and understood that. But what I started to realize at some points throughout the day was that the VIP lines were longer than the general admission lines. And they would still alternate general admission and VIPs to the front. So John Glover's an example. I walk up to his line. There's 4 people in the general admission line and 12 people in the VIP line. Now, again, we paid something like $200 or more for our VIP access, and they paid $35 for their admission ticket. This was Friday, I believe. They were going before me. Like, they would let 2 VIPs and then a general admission. And then they weren't paying attention, so another general admission would go, and then another VIP, and then it was like 1-to-1. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I'm better off in the general admission line. But then they would stop me from going to the general admission line and tell me that I'm a VIP. I have to stay in the VIP line. So again, I don't think they understand the concept of VIP, or they just don't care. How do you put people, anybody, I don't even care if they're general admission, out in the sun to bake while you're waiting to get a photo taken? That just doesn't make sense. You take advantage of the customer, like me, because we don't have a choice. But you do. It's called move the event to a bigger venue, one that can accommodate your growing size. Hey, you should be happy. Your convention is growing and you need more space. That's a good problem to have. Now fix it. You cannot continue to operate out of a small venue because it's cheaper and you make more money. Moving on. I've never been to a convention where you purchase specific VIPs, but then aren't granted VIP access for other people, unless they have specific VIPs as well. So again, like I said earlier, if I have at Ace Comic Con, I had Chris Hemsworth. Or no, I'll do Walker Stalker, I think it was. Or no, Fandemic. I had a Daryl from Walking Dead, Daryl VIP, and I had a Negan VIP. So when they said, all right, we're going to take all the Daryl VIPs to get autographs, all the people who had specific Daryl VIP tickets, which were expensive, like $400, they went in the line. Then they took all other VIPs after that. So if you were a Negan VIP, you got in the line after the Daryl VIPs. And then if you were just a general VIP ticket, like not specific to any person, you got in line. And after that came general admission. At this convention, I had to buy a VIP for each named person. So when it's all said and done, my ticket was more than $2,400. I will tell you that the most expensive ticket I had ever bought for a convention was about $1,000, which included all lunches to sit with celebrities and eat lunch. It included a personal concierge, someone who walked around with me and held my bags and helped me get the autographs, took me to the front of the lines for everything I needed, including photos and autographs. Held my bag whenever I needed her to hold my bag, like just because, like let me help you out type of thing. Made my schedule so that I would not forget that I had a photo at 4 o'clock or 2 o'clock or 2:15 or where I was supposed to be for the entire weekend. I had a room where I could sit and lounge and relax so that if I didn't have anything to do, I could just relax and take a load off for a little while. A room that had snacks and drinks. All of this was included. This one was more than double that. For nothing. For none of that. Now, they did include a photo and an autograph. If you only wanted one, it didn't matter. You were being charged for admission, 3-day admission, for every ticket that you bought. So instead of it being a buy one, then add on the others, you had to buy each individual one. Complete waste of time and money. And again, you don't understand how to run it. It's not supposed to be where you're a VIP for one, but you're general admission for the other ones, even though you bought a VIP ticket. I bought a VIP ticket add-on, not even a name-specific one. And I was general admission for several of these lines. Mike Tyson didn't have a VIP line. Why? He wasn't a named VIP guest. He should have had a VIP line. Instead, I was in the same line as general admission. Now, it's just like me complaining when it's like, hey, my BMW's having a problem. Like, I get that. But when you pay money, and this is for anybody, if you pay $35, you have a certain level of expectation. If you pay $500, you have a certain level of expectation. I just wanted to meet my level of expectation based on every other convention I've ever been to, and this did not live up to that. It didn't. No convention have I ever had to go outside and wait in the sun for anything. Now, if you're general admission, that might be the case in some conventions because the lines are so long that they're like, hey, we don't have any more space. Let's put them outside. I get that. I've never experienced that because I usually buy VIP tickets. I spend the money because I know that I'm getting about 15, 16 autographs, 20 autographs, whatever it might be, and I'm seeing a bunch of people. I need the time. I need to be able to jump the line so that I can get everything done. That's why I pay more. I have not gone to Dragon Con in Atlanta, and I live here in Atlanta. Why? They don't sell VIP tickets. Everyone is general admission. I don't go to conventions that don't have VIP tickets, even though I would like to. Why? Because I go with a lot of stuff. I'm a different breed. I'm not going there to be like, oh my God, look at this person. I just want to take a picture from 100 yards away and, 100 feet. No, I'm going because I have items to get autographed for myself or items that other people are looking to have signed that they send to me to get done, but mostly from my own collection. And when I walk up to Andy Serkis with 8 items, that's $800 that I'm spending. When I walk up to Katie Seagal and I have 8 items, that's $800 that I'm spending. So I'm not talking chum change. So when I say that it's way too expensive to not get the perks and benefits out of it, that's exactly what I mean. If you're going to charge me that money, it needs to be amazing. In the same way that if you go get a McDonald's cheeseburger for $1.99, or you go to a restaurant and get a $9 cheeseburger, and then you go to some really fancy restaurant that charges $18 for a cheeseburger, then you go to a super fancy restaurant that charges $100 for a cheeseburger. You'd better not get a $1.99 quality burger for $100. That's all I'm saying. I know it sounds like a stupid thing to complain about, but when I was sitting there in the hot sun, already annoyed about the hotel, already annoyed about the convention center, already annoyed about different things, that's what put me over the edge. Now, I will say this also. Some of the guests were at the hotel and some of the guests were at the convention center. It was fine because they let everybody know, hey, these people are going to be at the hotel, these people are going to be at the convention center. Now, the problem with that is, like, you have to choose where to go. So if you want somebody that's in each, you have to kind of figure out how to do both. And again, timing is a problem because some of the people were there for one day and they had photos and they had panels. So you have to catch them. And that's, again, why I buy VIP tickets, so I can catch them more likely because I have more access to get there quickly. This did not have any of that. It had all the problems without any of the solutions, except that they were really, really eager to take my money. That they did. No issue there. That went really fast. They took my money right away. It was not a fun experience. Several of the celebrity lines did not have VIP lines. Several of them, the VIP lines were longer than the general admission lines. Some of the lines, the people did 3 VIPs to 1 general admission. Other lines did 1 to 1. Other lines didn't care. They were just like, you had to just push yourself up there and walk up there. Now, that's not to say that all of it was terrible. There were some really good people, some really good volunteers, some really good things. But for the most part, the general thought that I get at the end of this is that I would never do another Steel City Comic Con. Never. They have one coming up in December. They're already promoting it. And it's got some decent people. I would never do it because it was that poorly run that I would not put myself through that. And what stinks is that they had a lot of great vendors, a lot of great toy vendors, different things like that. I mean, I saw some toys there that I haven't seen in years. I saw a lot of cool stuff. I bought a lot of stuff that I don't normally do. But it just was not worth it. Like, I would not go back. The place is, they just don't care. If they cared a little bit more about the people spending money, then they would figure it out. Rent more tents for the photos. Close off the parking lot so that cars aren't endangering the people that you have standing outside waiting. Those types of things. Find a bigger space. Pick a better city. There was a lot. Allow VIP pass holders to be VIPs for everyone, not just one person. And don't exclude their VIP privileges for someone else. And don't charge them 3-day admissions every time you sell a VIP pass. Just doesn't make any sense. And then limit the amount of VIPs that you sell. Oh, one other thing. If you bought a 3-day pass, you got in at the same time as the VIPs. So where's the VIP perk? It seemed like at every turn they were taking away the only privileges of being a VIP or of having a VIP ticket. And I will say that it just was, I don't care about the free t-shirt. It's not why I go there. I know some people love it. It's like, oh, this is amazing. No, when you're paying $400, you get a t-shirt. It's not like, ooh, I'm ripping you guys off now. The poster was cool. You know, the foil posters are a nice touch. But the experience itself, you dropped the ball. And my guess is you've been doing this for a long time, and that's why you keep growing and growing and growing, and people are putting up with it. Not this guy. So that's the last time I'll go. And I'm putting this out there. I'm putting this out there because some people don't know. I didn't know. But people need to know. Have way more respect for your celebrities and put them up in that hotel. Treat the people who are spending a lot of money better than what you do. And there is a difference between somebody who's spending $35 on a ticket and somebody who spent $1,000 on a ticket or $400 on a ticket. There needs to be a better system. Go to some conventions and see what other people do, because then you'll see that you're wrong. You're just not doing it right. Now, if you're all about the money, then yeah, you're doing it right, because you're getting the money and you're not having to treat people better or do anything better to earn their money. They're just giving it to you. But I know for me, one and done. I would never go back. And it's a shame because it's a nice area. They had decent guests. Some people that I haven't seen at cons before. But sun, lack of respect, exorbitant amount of money, crummy hotel, small convention center, inside and outside. It was raining on Saturday and you had to go between venues. Like, guys, really? That tells you that you've outgrown your space. Get a bigger space. And if you can't do that in Monroeville to save money, then go to Pittsburgh and spend some more money. Nice convention centers, nice hotels, all the above. I think that's it. I'm sure there's more, but I survived the murder hotel, Doubletree Inn or whatever it's called. I survived the crummy customer service. I got the autographs I needed. Not all of the ones that I wanted, not all of the photos that I wanted, but what are you going to do? That's what happens when a convention decides that the money is more important than the experience for the guest. There's places like that. They usually don't last, but this one for some reason keeps growing. It's getting bigger and bigger. I heard people saying how busy it was on Saturday. To me, it was small. It was nothing compared to some of the other conventions. But it is what it is. So there you have it. A nice long rant about this. And again, the only reason I went into such detail is because people need to know. Like, don't waste your money. There are so much better conventions out there. If you're curious which ones, look up any of the Fan Expo events. There's cities all around the country. Find one of those. They know how to run their conventions. And that's not to say that I haven't had issues with them too. But they're so small. Like, next time I go to one, I need to apologize to the main guy and be like, yo, dude, I'm sorry. There's other people that are really terrible. Fan Expo events are good. Fan X events are good. Like Salt Lake. Fanboy events are pretty good. Yeah. Just find a different one. This one's not it. So that's it. Signing off after this really long rant. My advice, 2 thumbs down. Pittsburgh Steel City Comic Con, whatever it's called. I don't need to know the name anymore because I'm done. So thanks for watching another video, guys. And stay tuned for some really cool autograph content that I did get at the expo, as well as some of the updates to the collection. See you guys next time.